We interrupt all radio and television programs for an indefinite period. Please keep your radio and television sets turned on. This is an emergency. I repeat, this is an emergency.
Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, January 13th, 11 p.m. Mountain Time.
By direction of the President of the United States, in the interests of public safety, hereby proclaimed to be under martial law.
You've entered the boom room. It's boom time, kids. And the models are looking deep. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to make a video on how to put chains on your vehicle so that you're prepared and not scared, because that is a task that no one wants to do. Did you hear? Cold is the new hot, and people are loving it. Not that cold. We're not there yet. It is the sun. It's not you. And it's not CO2. So keep calm, because it's boom time. Snowfall into Sunday night. AccuWeather local storm max predicting 16 inches. Heads up, DC area, you've got about 12. And let's get to the articles. Winter storm Gia brings gee whiz snow totals to central Illinois. He's not annoyed. In fact, he's got his joystick in his hand right between his schwanzes. Bloomington, when state police urged central Illinois residents to hashtag stay home Saturday, it had an unexpected result. Higher than unusual calls for food deliveries. Yes. They couldn't even keep up. A slow-moving storm dumped up to 8 inches of snow in parts of central Illinois, breaking the records. The latest record snowfall in Illinois capital from the storm. Parts of central Illinois have registered record snowfalls after winter storm Gia struck, then lingered. Springfield State Journal Register reports the state capital broke the 55-year record of daily snowfall on Saturday. Ow! Are you up from your nap, you prick? It's true, the 8.4 inches that fell on the Capitol broke the previous record of 6.6 back in 1964. The storm lashed the region starting Friday and lasting into Sunday. The Weather Service says 11.5 inches of snow fell on Springfield over 3 days. Jacksonville, some 30 miles west, got even more at 16 inches. Whew, those are some totals. Heads up. We're going to have to parse this. We're going to have to close that. Take a breath. And that's tonight's first boom. Heads up. Micronova much? Have you heard? Cold is the new hot. Not that cold. And it's the sun. Not you. Not CO2. Keep calm. It's still boom time. Storm totals are still the same. Deadly winter storm moves east, knocking out power to 200,000. And this guy's still jogging. Joggers in DC on Sunday. A winter storm that pummeled the Midwest was expected to continue across southern New Jersey until early Monday morning before ending. Everything's canceled in the Mid-Atlantic. Everything. Everything! Because everyone's going to the beach, apparently. A winter storm that slammed parts of the Midwest, and the officials say contributed to the deaths of at least 9 people, was moving east on Sunday, leaving disruptions to travel and electric power in its wake. Yeah, disruptions to power. We're going to get to it. We just clicked on it. Much of the snow was winding down in the Midwest. Power outage US. Loading. Totally trippy. Like our Jiffy. Whoa. Is that what I think it is? There's still some light lingering snow around St. Louis and parts of central Illinois, but 200,000 people without power. And that is not getting any easier. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 130,000 shown. Michigan, Kansas, Virginia, Missouri. The misery is in North Kakalaki, where over 52,000 still without power at this moment. Poweroutage.us for info. As the Midwest dug itself out, the storm was continuing east on Sunday. The system delivered snow to Baltimore, D.C., Delaware, parts of South Jersey, and the mountains of West Virginia, as well as Virginia. Mr. Potowski said the snow will continue across New Jersey until early Monday morning before ending. As of early Sunday afternoon, O'Hare International had delayed flights and other people were fluxed. The storm caused power failures with more than 45,000 customers in Missouri, 24,000 in Kansas, 33,000 in Virginia early Sunday afternoon, and 100,000 customers were without power in North Kakalaki this morning. Now, this storm is going to die down, but it's just the beginning of a cacophony of ever-increasing dumps on the East Coast and the Midwest that will continue into March. As we march on into this solar minimum of epic proportions, not seen for hundreds of years on the planet. In fact, in modern times, the stories that will unfold will be epic. Weekend winter storm dumps close to a foot of snow in the D.C. area. Up to 11 inches of snow has accumulated in some areas. Heads up, Chris Martz. Definitely your neck of the woods. Federal offices in D.C. have been closed for weeks because of the shutdown and will continue to be closed on Monday. The U.S. Office of Personnel Management announced that that was easy. Here are your totals. Chantilly Lace in Virginia, 10.2 inches. Dulles International, 9.6. The National Zoo, 7.3. Bethesda, 10.5. Waldorf, 6.8. Reagan International, 9. Columbia, Maryland, 9.3. And if you're not skiing, then you're just a crybaby and you're sitting inside sipping on a latte. Metro bus service is suspended Sunday evening because of hazardous road conditions. All schools are closed. Say it ain't so's. Yes! There are the school closings. Many D.C. area schools are closed on Monday, which will be your fun day for skiing and sledding and pissing off your parents who haven't made any money for weeks because of the shutdown. Why else are they living in that hole of a region called the D.C. area unless they work for the government? White screen. Boom! It must be the powers that be not wanting you to get the info, so let's click it through. Remembering my friend from a high school named Ed Shue. And let's just pause it there. 36 hours in, residual effects of Gia hitting southern Delaware, southern New Jersey, and it's going to move off the coast here. The coast with the most. It's where I grew up. It's my stomping grounds. But look what's going to happen on your Monday, fun day. South Central Cali. Going to pick up some heavy snow in the mountains, which is going to quickly move north into all of northern Cali. Snow totals of up to 5 feet predicted in this region through your Thursday. And then watch this storm develop. It's going to dump heavy snow all throughout the west and then dump down through Iowa next weekend, starting Friday into your Saturday. And it looks like a record nor'easter tearing up the coast, pummeling. Boston is going to be ground zero on this one, as well as the Mason-Dixon line, northern West Virginia in the mountains, heads up Berkeley Springs especially, Morgantown, that region, Sidling Hill, you're buried. According to the models that are developing early, these will change as the week continues, but this storm is going to pummel parts of South Louisiana and move into Arkansas all the way down to Texas. And as this develops, I think these storms are... This freeze line is going to dip south towards North Florida. So we're going to be watching this closely. These are epic totals, and I think that the video that I'm going to produce tomorrow morning as I put chains on the tractor will help everyone. Because you could buy chains for less than 40 bucks at your Wally World or other box store, and most of them are high quality. I'm going to tell you what makes a high quality chain in the morning and how to put them on any vehicle easily. Even if you're a grandma, you don't need to be strong, you just need to be smart and methodical. Chains are simple. You don't tangle them up, you know how to lay them out, and you know how to put them on. And we'll show you that in the morning. So make sure to check out our update early in the morning, putting chains on. And the reason we're doing this is because I could not get to my other property simply because I didn't break the chains out this year. And the chains need to be on all the vehicles starting now because it's going to continue to snow in North America as we go. And it's only going to be record-breaking and more apparent. And this is looking like a complete stopper, a game stopper for next Monday's commute. So if you're not prepared, get prepared now. You have all week to get your chains in this region, which is basically all the Appalachians, including the major metro areas from the tip of Maine all the way down to DC. I know it's going to be insane, but it's exactly as we predicted it, and it should continue into next winter, being the worst winter ever experienced in North America, ever in recorded history. Yeah, that's a big one. Arctic cold could fuel widespread snow threat from the Rockies to the central eastern states late week into northern weekend. This is the storm we're talking about. A potent storm will enter the West Coast Thursday and spread through the Rockies by Friday, developing in the Midwest. The storm will then encounter cold air dividing the South into the plains, and everyone will be fluxed from Minnesota to Iowa. And then it will spread east and completely bury the East Coast, from South Carolina to Maine. Widespread snow and ice are possible in the plains, Midwest, and Northeast late week into the weekend. And we're going to be watching this model closely, but it does not look good at all. But what we have high confidence on is heavy moisture quenching the drought in the West that the alarmists in the global warming arena said was never going to end. But it's ending before your very eyes and before your very lives, as we predicted right now, in just a matter of weeks. All those tweaks. And the models are proving it. And the snowfall totals that are happening live will prove it next weekend. Eastern winter storm tapers off today into your Monday morning. More unsettled weather for the West Coast will arrive and remain all week. Winter storm warnings and watches in 5 states in the East, 5 states in the West. Check your counties. Click on them. Northern New Mexico, northern Arizona, southwestern Colorado, where I am, completely buried, and the Mid-Atlantic will taper off tonight. Winter storm Gia will shift east off the Carolina coast through today. Heavy snow will continue over portions of the Mid-Atlantic, while freezing rain is expected for the western Carolinas into southern Virginia. Governor say it ain't so. The snow and ice will contribute to slick travel into the night. Hundreds of accidents and idiots will be stranded. Let's go to Europe. 3 German skiers, latest casualties of the extreme weather in Central Europe. Snow totals in Germany that haven't been seen for decades, and these guys are using some small piece of paracord to save lives. That's ridiculous. 3 German friends were killed in an avalanche in the Austrian Alps on Saturday, the latest victims of record snowfall in the region after the hottest summer ever. Due to the waning magnetosphere, which will continue next summer. Next summer, more rates of skin cancer will peak and spike than ever before in modern history. And this will continue for the rest of your lives. Stay out of harm's way. Do not go to the beach. Austria and Bavaria are in the grips of the worst snow in over 2 decades. After days of heavy snow and temporary break at the weekend, a further 2 meters of snow are predicted. That's 6 feet across the northern side of the Alps, as authorities fly in supplies to cut off mountain towns and people try to save lives. Unfortunately, 3 were lost over the last 24 hours. Hours of powers, and they're going to continue. Here is someone in Western Russia opening their garage door to 5 feet of snow and no way to get out. This is not an anomaly. This is just a picture from one of our viewers. Stunning footage of snow-covered Lebanon, and that is not the lunch meat, kids. There's no denying the beauty of the scenery as winter was felt at the full force in Lebanon in recent days. But people don't even own winter coats in Lebanon. Storm Norma has created havoc for thousands and has displaced Syrian refugees, which, ironically, the snow, according to people running the Syrian refugee camps, has been blamed on global warming. Ow! Did you... what are they smoking, dude? Is that like some retardation herb? We don't get it. Seismic update. That's delicious. No quakes of note. 5.0 rocking in Katowice at 3 kilometers is unheard of. That's at the surface. And we have a cacophony of quakes rocking off in the upper 4, 5 magnitude in the Solomon Islands and Indonesia. Something is rumbling. And soon we'll be tumbling. Minor adjustment here in the Cascadia zone, 4.1. Undoubtedly a frat quake here in Wheeler, Texas. But let's take a note of this line of seismicity in Alaska. And it is my prediction that this is going to be an area where there is going to be a volcanic explosion from the surface, maybe a rupture in the next several years. So we're going to be keeping a live eye on this. As this plate boundary curves through here, it does not curve down here. It continues through, obviously, the continent here, through Alaska. So we're going to see how this manifests through the coming solar shutdown, magnetic reversal, because we are simply scientists making observations and adjusting our hypothesis as we go. Now, as cosmic rays have increased over the last 2 days, Santorini volcano has increased its seismicity. An earthquake swarm has been occurring near the island since this morning. So far, 16 quakes of magnitude between 2 and 3.9 at a depth ranging between 30 and 6 kilometers have been detected. This is the magma intrusion range, the upper crustal range. And so this is, and you should really look at the coloration here and how the depth moves up towards the surface here. So it starts down here and then the activity gets higher and higher. And this is indicative of something moving up. The quakes are clustered halfway between Santorini's southwest end and the Christiana Islands group. The strongest shock with magnitude 3.9 should be shocking because anything approaching 5.0 would determine actual eruption. And this occurred at 10:27 local time and might have been felt weakly by residents in the southern part of Santorini who are now shitting their pants, as they should be. Planchon Petaroa volcano news and activity updates. Volcanic ash seen today. Continuous ash emissions to 15,000 feet. That's almost 3 miles. Volcanic activity and explosive nature continues at Planchon Petaroa. And we're going to be watching this closely in Buenos Aires. So if you want to move to the equator, do it. That way you'll be consumed first by the ash. And you can kiss my ash because you're like, why aren't you telling people to go to the equator? It's so awesome there. It's hot where the disease festers and everything is awesome. We're locked up. We're waiting for it. 19 minutes in and we've frozen like Al Gore's face. I can't click on anything, folks. Take a breath. Something's happening. It's a readjustment at 20 minutes. These sons of bitches. Cold is the new hot. That's hot, folks. Here we are at Volcanoverse Global Volcano Monitoring, and we can see Saku puffing up. It's getting puffed. Masaya glowing in the center there. And Sinabung creating its own weather. So we're going to be watching for a major uptick here. If you don't know about Volcanoverse, come over and subscribe now and give them a thumbs up. Do it now. The newest channel to add to the list of our scientific data set is running live right now. Tell them Diamond sent you and give them a boom. Heads up. Heads up, we're live. I love it when a plan comes together. Another great site here is where we can see Stromboli live. And this is over at Roan's Vids. He's got it back up right now. He or she, I have no idea. It's unimportant. What is important is the continuous flow of data coming before your very eyes. So check it out. The volcanoes erupting worldwide. You can check it first. We're definitely going to witness the first VEI 5 or 6 happen in this grand solar minimum any day now. And it's coming right now. NASA asteroid warning. 460-foot asteroid discovered last month is headed for Earth tomorrow. And we have a blood moon to think about and the magnetosphere waning. Now let's get demonetized. I don't even think it's loaded. Let's wait for it. Super Wolf blood moon coming January 20th. If you didn't know, we talked about this weeks ago, but we'll talk about it as we get closer. We're a week away. Total eclipse to last over 1 hour. This is coming from Denver, CBS 4. Mark your calendar for Sunday, January 20th. If you hope to see one of the most epic celestial shows of 2019, we won't have a full eclipse for years, so get out and do it if you live in North America. Best of all, you won't have to stay up late. Totality is entered at 9:41 p.m. Mountain Time, and the moon will be totally covered in Earth's shadow for 1 hour and 2 minutes, ending at 10:43 p.m. Mountain Time. That's midnight on the East Coast and an hour earlier on the West Coast. Now, according to space.com, this will be the last total lunar eclipse until May 2021. And the last one visible from the United States until 2022. Hoo-hoo. That's 3 years, folks. You could be dead then, so do it! Even if you lose your job. Because it doesn't matter if you don't have any money if you're dead, if you've never seen a total lunar eclipse. And if you come to the ranch, I'll give you some of our special cannabis to make you see it in full life color. So where does the name Super Wolf Blood Moon come from? Well, it comes from a bunch of D-bags that named it a bunch of different things. And they can all suck it. Super moon is when a full moon is at perigee, or its closest approach to Earth. Wolf moon is the name given to the January full moon. Blood moon is the reddish tint during a lunar eclipse as sunlight is filtered and refracted by Earth's atmosphere, which means that the eclipse has to happen shortly after sunset. That's all you need to know, except that you have to go outside and look up to see it on January 20th. That's the most important thing.
China. And the U.S. Missile destroyer that going through the disputed...
That is not why we reloaded that at all. Did you know that cold is the new hot? Look at how hot these people are. They've got facials. This guy's got his dreadlocks up. He's got a hat on. And this guy is totally having a good time. Look at his nips. She's rocking it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes and her. It's not a party. That's a shardy. Take a look at. Hopefully we can get to this. Because it's important. It's science. The animation represents a map of the increased count of all known asteroids in the solar system between January 1st, 1999 and January 31st, 2018. Now, those of you that are mathematically inept, that's less than 2 decades. And what we've uncovered is the fact that the solar system you live in is not billions of years old and has been sitting here for all of time. It is, in fact, very young. And it is literally littered with debris. So much debris that by 2009, it was becoming very apparent that there was lots of debris. Let's just go back and look at the increased amount of objects we determined. So quickly here, these are the rotation of the planets in our solar system. Pluto is way out here, and you can see here in the gas giants, the asteroid belt, and the amount of debris that is in the inner solar system is epic. All known asteroids in 2018. All known asteroids in 2018. Clearly there was cosmic catastrophe of epic proportions in this ring. This is where your Planet X and your Marduk and everything else once existed. And the reason I only show it to you for a second is because it is so significant that it will make everyone's mind get blown. Look at the amount of objects in this inner region of our solar system. If anything gets perturbed in here, we're screwed. If the magnetic field radically changes, all these objects get sucked towards planets. And they start coming in. They're going to start coming in soon. Look at how many there are. And then, if there's a huge solar outburst from the sun, these all get shocked and pushed towards us. What do you think happens if this whole front gets blown in towards the center? Or blown out from the middle? It's going to hit other planets. It's not going to be a good week. In about 2 decades, if we have a solar outburst from the sun right here, all these objects are going to start moving out towards our plane, which will be insane in the membrane. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Not only that, the electrical potential of all of the rotational objects will change, and they may suck some of these objects in towards us, which is not looking good for the future of the planet. But if you're prepared and not scared, you may live. So why not get out and look at the super wolf blood moon January 20th before your lives become shite. Now the magnetosphere is our biggest fear. So all this information from the micronova is coming out, and people are getting all their panties in a bunch, and rightfully they should be. But they're confusing all of the layers of cosmic catastrophe that are culminating on the 2 decades that you're going to live starting now. The first one is the grand solar minimum. As the sun shuts down, the biggest effects are going to be felt from now until 2021. as we continue deeper into the solar minimum, and next winter wreaks more havoc than the winter we haven't even finished. And what we expect in this time is there hasn't been an X flare now for over a year and a half, nor an M flare or a major C flare. So we're looking for a major flare, because all of these happen annually, to come off the sun at any time and start the cascading effect of the meltdown of the grid on Earth. Now, our partner Greens Greg, who will be at LeCon, just put up a grid down video that I do not have up, unfortunately, but I will share it with you tomorrow night. So if you subscribe to Greens Greg's channel, go look at his new video that just came up today, and you'll have a better insight into what is coming. Now, the way this event unfolds is the magnetosphere of the Earth continues to wane, and the solar outbursts pick up. So the first thing that happens is the grid fries and the empire ends. How that unfolds is anyone's guess, but global unrest and the nightmare of 8 billion people is your future in the next decade. Financial markets collapse, cities explode, fires get lit. We showed you the footage just from weeks ago, how a small geomagnetic storm caused infrastructure to light on fire, running up and down the power lines. Imagine that tenfold, 1,000-fold, 10,000-fold. That's happening soon. And that's why you need to be preparing now for grid down scenarios. No electricity for years, and probably not ever, unless you have solar or your own micro hydro or your own electrical systems. You're fluxed. So for under $500, you can get a solar panel and a charge controller and a battery. Do it. That might be the rest of your life, all your electric. If you don't have that, you have nothing. You're going to be going to your neighbors to charge your phone. That's pathetic. So get prepared. Don't be scared. Times are changing. The powers that be don't want to help you. They want to brainwash you. The guy on the right is the biggest idiot on the planet, and he's now running housing and urban development. I've researched this supposed brain surgeon, and if he ever got near my brain, I would shoot him. And Santorum, well, Google it. My research has always led me back to the Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic texts. And more researchers I'm finding are corroborating my material. In fact, Ben Davidson shared today how one researcher since the 60s has uncovered just mind-blowing information that I can't even begin to describe what it means. But the Hebrew language comes from sacred geometry. And the clock cycle described by our friend Doug Vogt and others, Graham Hancock, is now coming much clearer. Micronova results in objects entering our atmosphere, hitting the Earth. There's tons of material out there. So if a shock wave goes through our solar system, we're fluxed. Not only will the solar debris hit us in the micronova 12 to 18 hours after the outburst, essentially burning and wiping off the atmosphere on that side of the planet. But on the other side of the planet, everything flash freezes. And at the same time, objects also rain in and hit us. So it is a collective event. It's not one thing. The micronova leads to asteroid impact and leads to cosmic catastrophe of global proportion, which has been geologically proven to be happening forever. And we'll get to that at LeCon. But the pieces are coming together slowly and surely. And now is the time to declare your freedom, because you're about to freeze your ass off. Prepare now. The micronova's decades away. The grid is going to fail way before then. But at the same time, the cosmic rays are going to change your genetics. We are evolving right now. Don't be scared. Embrace it. Learn to meditate. You are Christ consciousness. You are God. The information is in. You contain all of the moving parts to understand it all. You need to shut out the noise. Unfortunately, you've been taught the noise your entire life. Learn to shut off the noise. Please. You understand the future. It's innate. We've known forever what's about to happen and transpire. Are you ready? We make it. We want you to make it with us. Join us in our journey. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance when everyone dies but the survivors. Are you a survivor? I'm a thriver. I'm ready. Join the journey. It is your life. Embrace it. Don't disgrace it. Humanity is connected through our consciousness. There is no races. There is only the human race. And if you feel that we're racing to the finish, you're right. And the finish is an enlightenment of humanity. Give till it hurts. Prep till you can prep no more. Be safe. We love you.